Good morning, guys. You know what day it is. Motorhome Mondays. Right, as you can see, I'm out and about. I'm doing my 1 hour's allotted freedom. And as you're all cooped up, I thought I'd bring you lot along so you get an extra bit, you know? Yeah, so just taking a little walk. There's a couple of people around. It is very, very quiet at the moment, so just staying away from everyone. But let's crack on with the questions, shall we? What's the window vac in the latest video you used? What model is it? It is the Karcher. Now I wrote it down, Karcher Wv5. It's brilliant. I use it upside down. Works, not a problem. And yeah, love it. Next one. Where do you park the motorhome when you're at work? I park it in the works car park. So when I go into work, I park it in the works car parks, safe and secure. This is on a normal time, not like right now in lockdown. And then I finish work, get in the motorhome and go find a park up. And simple as that, really. So that's that. It's good because you know it's safe, you know it's nice and safe and secure. Next question, different one this is. I'm unable to drive, could I still own a motorhome? The answer is yeah, you could still own a motorhome if you really wanted to. But there's going to be a few issues with that. First and foremost would be moving it, because most sites in this country are not permanent sites. There are a few, don't get me wrong, there are a few, but most of them are 21 days or 28 days and you have to move them. You can find caravan sites that are permanent, so you could do that, but I think it would prove a few problems. But you can own one, you can legally own one, but obviously if you can't drive it, then that's going to make things difficult. This one, I've got a few of these. Now, you need to get with technology, people. You need to get with technology. How comes you never tipped the Uber driver when you done your last video? Because I've done a video parking up in Sainsbury's car park, and I ordered an Uber Eats delivery, and I took the food, I said thanks, and he went. But people were saying you didn't tip the driver. I did. I tipped the driver on the app. I gave him £2. That's all right. That's an all right little tip. So yeah, just tip on the app. So you don't have to actually carry cash at all. Right, next one. These two are related. So why don't you, this was for my Sainsbury's parkup video. Why don't you just cover up your number plate to avoid the ANPR system? I'm not going to get involved in any of that because it's just starting to cover up your number plate. One, that's not legal. Two, you get seen doing it, then you're going to be in more trouble. Three, if you don't cover it up on the way in, but you cover it up on the way out, the system will still think you're there. So then if you then went back there another time, it could then register you've been there for like 3 weeks or something. And by the way, I'm just walking around in circles because I don't really, it's a nice area this is, I've not really got anywhere to go, so I'm just going to walk around here and then I'll walk back because I'm not too far from where I'm parked. If you did get a parking ticket, where would it go because you don't have an address? Right, well, I do have an address, I don't live there, but I have my family's, so all my stuff just goes to my family. I did do a video about this, which I'll put up here, so you can see that. And then yeah, I just go to my family's house. That's pretty simple, really. Next question, where did you get your CCTV system, and is it 12 volt? Yes, it is 12 volt, 100% 12 volt. The DVR box and all the cameras run on 12 volt. I think the cameras are like 5 volt, maybe. So I bought my system on eBay. There are many ones. It is a household system, so for the outdoors, so it's all weatherproof. I do recommend it. It is good, but it does use a lot of power because it's a DVR system. It's constantly recording, and I can access it from anywhere in the world with the Wi-Fi that I've got in the motorhome. If you just want to be able to see outside at a moment's notice, then you could go with like well, one man is whippet, so he's got like reversing cameras all around. So you just turn it on, and that's it. There it is. It's on, but you can't access it anywhere in the world. It doesn't record. I'll link to his video, and John's got one as well. Gadget John, he's got some good cameras on his old vehicle. I don't think he's done anything on his new one yet, so I'll link to that as well. Next question: do you watch normal TV channels in your motorhome? No, not really. I've got one of them big stupid aerials on the roof that come with the motorhome, which is going to get taken off whenever we can. I'm going to replace it with a little short stubby aerial, just because I don't need that massive aerial. But to be honest, I don't really watch TV. I watch Netflix, Amazon. I watch whatever I want. I've got Sky Digital in the motorhome through Sky Go, so that's fine. But yeah, I don't really watch normal TV, to be fair. Do you have a generator as a backup power source? Nope, no generator. I don't know where I'd put one if I did have one, because I haven't really got outside space, and I don't really want a fuel generator inside the motorhome. Next question: why did you change your solar panels from flexible to rigid? That wasn't really by choice. That was because all 3 flexes from my previous system, they all died. All 3 flexible panels died, which is a pain in the arse, to say the least. So I had them all replaced with rigid panels, which I recommend. Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't go flexi again. I would not go flexible again. Not at all. And I'll put a link to that one up here as well if you want to watch that video. What is a habitation check you spoke about in your last video? A habitation check is basically like an MOT for your motorhome. They check all the electrics, they check the gas, they go over every square inch of your motorhome with damp meters, and they do damp readings, and they check all that. So then you can know if it's got any damp, because damp is the biggest killer of motorhomes. They check everything works, like the fridge works, if it works on 240, 12 volt, and on gas. And then they just check everything, and they give you a report at the end of it, which for between 150 and 300 pounds really isn't a bad deal. I wouldn't buy. They are really talking quite loud over there. I wouldn't buy a motorhome without one, because even if it cost me 300 pounds for a test, then I could save thousands if there was something popped up on it, you know. And I definitely recommend them. So last question: can you list your 3 must-haves for van life? Okay, so my 3 must-haves for van life would be solar, with a caveat of power banks for when you haven't got solar. So solar is a must, absolute must for me. And then power banks, they're a great supplement alongside solar. My next would be my refillable gas bottles, safe fill, because they don't charge me anything as anywhere near what Cala used to cost. And I am trying to, you know, use electric as well as much as I can now, to save the LPG, but them LPG bottles were hands down one of the best purchases I've ever made. And lastly, I would say for van life, you need the Max Air roof fan, the Max Air Deluxe roof fan, because that thing is a game changer. Just being able to get all that hot air out and all the cooking smells out, and then bring air in, and you can use it in the piddling rain because it's like hunchbacked. So yeah, right guys, that is this week's Motorhome Mondays. Hope you've enjoyed that. If you've got any questions for next week's episode, then feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you want to know anything else, then again, drop me an email or talk to me on Instagram. Hope you're all at home, stay safe and all well. Lots of love, and I will catch you in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Bye.